Hi, this is Frank on 9MXI, and I'm making this recording to show a little quirk, or maybe it's a firmware bug, I don't know, of the latest update to the Kenwood TS-590S firmware. I recently updated to version 2.0, and I'm noticing a difference in the audio transmit level of the recorded messages. And occasionally I'm seeing a quirk where when I'm playing them back only when transmitting with Vox, that the level starts out low and then builds up. So it doesn't sound natural at all, and it used to not happen with the older firmware. But first let me start out setting everything up on the video so you can see that everything is set up, as one would expect. Okay, first I'm going to record in channel 1, I'm going to record the normal the level as they prescribe in the manual for the recording. So let me set that there, and as you can see, speaking into the microphone here, N9MXI test 1 2 3 4 5. The ALC level is it's getting high at the high end when the high peaks of my voice, which is exactly what the manual says. So let me actually start recording that. November 9, Mike X-Ray India, testing 1 2 3 4 5 5 4 3 2 1, and 9MXI test 1 2. Okay, so that was the first one. That was with the level as prescribed. Now let me do a quieter one. I'll just back off the mic a little bit so that it's not actually showing any ALC action, or very, very little at the peaks of my voice. And we'll start this one recording. Alright, November 9, Mike X-Ray India, testing 1 2 3 4 5 5 4 3 2 1, and 9MXI. Alright. Now I've got the ALC of the camera turned off, so hopefully you can hear the difference in the levels between them. The levels within each recording are nice and constant. And alright, first I'll do the louder one.
November 9, Mike X-Ray India, testing 1 2 3 4 5 5 4 3 2 1, and 9MXI, test 1 2.
And the quieter one.
Alright, November 9, Mike X-Ray India, testing 1 2 3 4 5 5 4 3 2 1, and 9MXI.
Alright, so there we go with that. Now I also want to show you that what my normal levels are for transmitting. I'm not going to touch anything, leaving everything alone. First I'll do it without the processor, which is not how I normally run, although I might be able to do that now with the 2.0 firmware, but usually I run with the processor on lightly, at least. Generally I'm trying to bust through a DX pile-up or something like that anyway. So, first let's... okay, processor's off, and actually transmitting now. November 9, oops, sorry, it was right on top of the mic, leaning forward toward the camera and was on top of the mic. N9MXI testing 1 2 3 4 5 5 4 3 2 1, N9MXI. So the ALC is usually within range. It might be a little bit high, but the way I have it set, I usually don't even run with the processor off. But this is with the processor off, and turning on the processor. It keeps everything well in range. November 9, Mike X-Ray India, N9MXI, test 1 2 3 4 5 5 4 3 2 1. That's with the processor on. Okay, now let's play back the audio. Let's see, I need to turn off the playback so you're not hearing it here. Oops, why did I do that? Playback volume. And turn on the transmit monitor. Should be good enough. And now we will play this back without Vox. So I'll be keying the radio, and then I will not be using Vox, and we'll see how the audio sounds first with the processor off. Oops. Okay, here we go.
November 9, Mike X-Ray India, testing 1 2 3 4 5 5 4 3 2 1, and 9MXI, test 1 2.
Okay, notice it was way out of the ALC range. And now the lower one.
Alright, November 9, Mike X-Ray India, testing 1 2 3 4 5 5 4 3 2 1, and 9MXI.
So the one that was below ALC, barely off the bottom of the ALC, is off the top of the ALC, and again.
Alright, November 9, Mike X-Ray India, testing 1 2 3 4 5 5 4 3 2 1, and 9MXI.
And again with the louder one.
November 9, Mike X-Ray India, testing 12345 54321 and 9MXI, test 1-2.
So I guess I have to record really low because it doesn't, there's no way to adjust the output level of the recordings when being transmitted. Now let's just do the same thing but with the processor on. Alright, first I'll do the lower one this time.
Alright, November 9, Mike X-Ray India, testing 12345 54321 and 9MXI.
And now the louder one.
November 9, Mike X-Ray India, testing 12345 54321 and 9MXI, test 1-2.
Quieter one.
Alright, November 9, Mike X-Ray India, testing 12345 54321 and 9MXI.
Louder one.
November 9, Mike X-Ray India, testing 12345 54321 and 9MXI, test 1-2.
So the processor does a pretty good job of keeping things in the desired range, and each of them stay at a constant level, the recorded level. They don't build or anything. Now I'll turn on Vox. With the processor off first, lower one.
Alright, November 9, Mike X-Ray India, testing 12345 54321 and 9MXI.
And the higher one.
November 9, Mike X-Ray India, testing 12345 54321 and 9MXI, test 1-2.
Okay, so the phenomenon didn't occur of what starting lower and building up. I did see that in the past, even with this firmware, but I did capture that previously without the processor, although I'm mostly interested in what it does with the processor because that's the way I like to run. Now I'll turn on the processor, and with Vox, instead of keying the radio separately, with Vox this time, the lower one.
Alright, November 9, Mike X-Ray India, testing 12345 54321 and 9MXI.
Okay, note that it started low and built up again.
Alright, November 9, Mike X-Ray India, testing 12345 54321 and 9MXI.
You can see it build up not only on the ALC but also in the power output. And now the higher one.
November 9, Mike X-Ray India, testing 12345 54321 and 9MXI, test 1-2.
And the louder one more time.
November 9, Mike X-Ray India, testing 12345 54321 and 9MXI, test 1-2.
So, at least with the processor on, you can see that it starts out low and builds up, but only when using Vox. It does not do that when keying the radio. But since, if I'm trying to bust through a pile-up or whatever, and I'm just sitting here pressing the button, I don't want to be having to key the radio separately. I just want to press the button and go. And I don't want to have to be turning the processor on and off or changing levels or anything between using the recording and using the microphone. So I think they've kind of messed up a little bit the level of the output, or maybe it's the level that they're recording at. Either way, the result is the same. It's too high now. I think it used to be too low. Now it's too high. And I think that's causing some sort of anti-Vox to kick in and cause a little bit of a problem, so it doesn't sound as good. Concentrate on the meters too, the ALC level and the power output. And you can see that when I transmit using Vox, it starts out low and builds up.
Record, testing 12345, November 9, Mike X-Ray India, test clear.
So the first second and a half or so is kind of low. And here's the one that was recorded at a lower volume.
Test 12345, November 9, Mike X-Ray India, clear.
So not only does it start out low and build up, when it builds up it also goes way outside the ALC range, which is kind of interesting because this one was recorded within the ALC range, and the same as the mic shows.
Record, testing 12345, November 9, Mike X-Ray India, test clear.
And it built. This one was recorded, it was barely even tickling the ALC meter when I recorded it.
Test 12345, November 9, Mike X-Ray India, clear.
That was with the processor on. Let me turn it off because some people might say, oh, well, that's the processor doing that. Well, not so much. Here is the same thing with the processor off. This is the one that was recorded at the high end of the ALC meter, like the manual says.
Record. Testing 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. November 9, Mike X-ray India. Test clear.
You can see how that built up. And here is the lower one.
Test 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. November 9, Mike X-ray India. Clear.
The one that was recorded at a lower level is actually much better, at least with without any processor on. It stays much more even.
Test 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. November 9, Mike X-ray India. Clear.
It still builds some, but it's pretty. That's I wouldn't complain about that if that was all it was doing. When it's recorded at the...
Record. Testing 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. November 9, Mike X-ray India. Test clear.
Well, now that's interesting. That time that one started out high. It didn't build. So why the inconsistency? You saw it a minute ago.
Record. Testing 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. November 9, Mike X-ray India. Test clear.
That time it built over time. It started out really, really low. Now, I will say one other thing, though, is that without the processor on, I've got a couple of audio reports that my audio sounds much better with the processor off than it used to sound with the processor off. So whatever they did in the 2.0 firmware did something to help the audio level work better with the processor off. With the processor on, it sounds the same as it used to. So it does seem like they did improve something in that respect without running the processor. So maybe I won't have to run the processor all the time for a lot of my just day-to-day chatting, but it's when I'm trying to bust through a pileup or running a contest that I want the processor on, and that's when I want to be using the recordings to just repeat my call sign so I don't wear my voice out like I am recording this right now. I do tend to talk a lot, don't I?